Well, I believe that we're the change. Even if I'm only one, I know that I can lead the way. Cause I've seen it and I've been there, had to face it the hard way.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Rena. We are back with another Elevated podcast episode. And today I am joined with the one and only Creative House, Marc Bravo.
Thank you.
Woo! Thank you so much for being here today. I know that you're super booked, busy. I know you got like 7 siblings or something like that. You said you wear a lot of hats.
Exactly. Yep. All my twins.
So you be running around all day. So thank you for making the time to be here today.
Yes, no problem.
How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling blessed. Just finished the auditions for Creative House and my first tour stop. So I'm taking a couple of days to take it all in, relax, get rejuvenated so I can get back to it.
I'm sure with the auditions and everything, that probably, was it overwhelming for you?
Oh,
it was overwhelming for me.
Very much.
I wasn't even the one throwing it. I auditioned though.
How was your audition experience?
I really enjoyed it. Like, you guys really did your thing. It was super official. I loved how you guys had the interviews right after. It was, for me, it was pretty, well, at first it wasn't smooth because I thought it was gonna end at 7.
Me too. Yep. We all did.
That joint ended like at midnight?
It was like 11 midnight, yeah. So everyone's a trooper for staying with us. We appreciate y'all.
So I guess, I mean, a takeaway could be, I don't know if y'all care. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to like false advertise, so I try to stick by the books, but hey, like that might have been good for y'all, like to finish later.
Yeah, it was our first big production like this. We really got to see what went into it. So I'm just glad everybody was patient with us. And it ended up having some great conversations with people that was there till like 4 in the morning. Is when we ended up actually leaving. So yeah.
It was a lot of networking for me. So I mean, whether I get selected or not, like it was a great experience. It was very valuable for me. I loved it. So yeah, performing though, I mean, I did get a little nervous. I've never done something like that.
Yep.
You saw it? Was I nervous?
Yeah, because I could always just tell, but you channeled your nervousness into an adrenaline that helps you perform well. So that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it was very different because I normally perform at like events, clubs, festivals, like concert style settings. And I was treating it as that. I was like, okay, like I'm gonna just go and like have fun and rock out. But this was more so, like it was learning experience for me because it was a panel. So I had to understand like you're not performing for the audience, you're performing for the panel.
Exactly, yep. And that's what we want to bring is these different industry-like experiences. Because a lot of us in the DMV, we have the talent, we have the experience, but we don't have the experience in a sense of like the areas like the LA or Atlanta's.
And it's like, what's it like to actually be in
those moments and bring those different tiers and aspects other than just shows. So it's cool to watch each artist go through that for the first time.
This was your first production like that?
This was my first big production like that. The first season, we didn't even have them audition. They sent in their like, email content with a video or a song, and then we kind of picked the people from there. It was like 50 submissions, the first one.
So how did the evolution come to mind where you were like, was it on you? I know you have a team with you. So like, how did you guys decide, you know what, y'all, let's do things differently this time around? Was it because now you have the space?
Yeah, it's a bunch of domino effects. It was I was doing a show one day, and one of the people that work at the space brought me to the space, my whole team, Empower, Tonga, everyone over there, and we ended up seeing it, and they wanted us to pay like a monthly fee to do work there, but I was like...
Creative space?
Yes.
So you're telling us a story on how you secure the space?
Yes.
Okay, all right, let's talk about this.
This is exclusive because I've never talked about it before. So that night, he ended up taking us over there. We looked at it, and they wanted us to pay like a monthly fee to work there at first. But I noticed, I'm like, if y'all are out here recruiting, bringing people in, y'all may need some things that I could possibly bring to the table.
You see, this is why I know we're similar because I'm very much like barter kind of and service trade. I'm like, well, you have assets here, I have assets here. We can join forces. Is that kind of how that's partnership?
That's kind of what it was. So then we became partners, and we have an investor now. So it was just a matter of our investor wanting us to take things to a level that we didn't understand we could go to. And this was like one of those first examples of that. So I was like, okay, it was a lot of work. I got out of my comfort zone, but it was well worth it.
Were you scared?
No, I don't really get scared or nervous too much. I get anxious because I care about it going well.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it so long now that I know anytime I've been the most nervous, I've been okay.
You have that self-determination to be like, no matter what, like we're gonna make this work, and if it doesn't work, it's gonna play out how it's supposed to anyways.
When I used to be nervous, I'm like, I'm gonna just do it nervous. And eventually I was always okay after, so it's like, what's the point now? Mm-hmm.
I love that. A lot of people can learn from that. I'm always talking about like people, like we have fears, right? We all have these fears, but once you can conquer your fears and get past that, a lot of people aren't able to even dream about starting their own creative house or even having their own space. And the fact that, in a sense, if this is open to the public, basically you didn't have to pay a monthly rent fee. Or maybe you did, but you were able to finesse a little bit.
I'll say things worked out well for everyone involved.
Okay, good. We love that. We love that.
The angle that works.
So so you can always find a way to make it work for you. Mm-hmm. But where were you guys before that? Where did Creative House start?
Wow. So
where did Marc Bravo start? Was it Marc Bravo the music brand, or Creative House the business that started first?
Marc Bravo the music brand started everything. So I recorded my first song in 8th grade when I was 13 years old. And that's when I hopped into the industry, was in a group called the Scumbag Boys.
Was this like home recording studio?
This was home recording studio.
Like your own? Were you mixing your own stuff?
I didn't start mixing my stuff till I got to college.
Okay.
My engineer, actually, who recorded all of my stuff, he recorded Fame Reeks No Stalling, by the way. Shout out to KJ. He is the one that suggested me. I was going to him for 2 years faithfully. Every weekend my mom would take me over there. And he's the one that told me, he's like, I don't think I'm doing your music enough justice.
Damn.
So my grandmom invested.
That's a good dude.
A great dude. Because that was money every week that he could bet on.
You see, that's, when you got people in your corner that can tell you like, look, man, you low key, you deserve better in a sense. Like, I got you, but like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so my grandmom, she had a fund for me. That she had saved up for myself and my brother for whatever our goal was in life, that she would help contribute towards it. So when she gave me that fund, that's when he told me that, was like, take some of this money and buy your own studio equipment.
Wow.
Because I was about to go to college as well. So by the time I got to college, I recorded 3 songs a day for 4 years. So
holy shit.
Yeah, even
and
now.
you were recording yourself in college and mixing your own stuff. You learned how to engineer.
Was trash. So I was like, well, if I do 3 songs a day, I have to get better.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I still mix and master all my stuff till today. Now I'm gonna finally take that next step after this album, because this is my last album doing myself. My next album I'll actually be doing a studio with Atanga, actually.
Damn, that's dope. It's very different for me because I started with my brand. I was a business owner first.
Okay.
Well, I was obviously like doing a lot of other jobs, working like 3 jobs a day, and I got fed up with just that job system didn't work for me. So I started lashing. It was like a huge lash fad, like 3-4 years ago.
It's fire though.
Yes. So I started lashing, and I've always been into fashion. So styling has always been like a thing that I did for friends and stuff.
Okay.
And then, but music was always, as a little girl, music was like I used to take my mom's pots and pans and I would literally be drumming in the kitchen. I would get in trouble for doing that stuff.
Wow.
And I would be on YouTube like posting covers. But it's interesting because it sounds like your family was very, not super, I don't know if they're super supportive, but they were open and receptive.
They support me. So it's like not so much the music, but they support what I'm doing.
My bad, let me fix the mic real quick.
Okay.
Now you're good.
You sound good. I think it just sounds
It's a great conversation.
You're good. I heard you. I saw your face over there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so start from they're supportive of me.
Okay, cool. So yeah, my parents, they were supportive of me. Not so much everything I'm doing, because they don't understand it completely.
Yeah.
My parents are 60, so they're a bit older and out of that. They don't even understand the social media all the way.
Yeah.
But they understand now that my family is on it all the time, that my family, their brothers and sisters are telling them what I'm doing. So it's nice for them to finally realize, but I stopped trying to prove myself to them like 5 years ago. I actually got a word of advice I would like to share with everyone, as far as someone told me, because I used to hate that my family didn't support my music. And someone told me, like, dude, your family can never be your fans. Your fans can never be your friends.
You
your
gave
friends
me
can
that
never be
piece
your
of
family.
advice too, actually.
I did, yes,
yeah, and it made a
exactly.
lot of sense for me.
Yep.
Because I think I was like maybe venting to you about something, and you were like, You're like, Rena, that's like expecting your fans to become your family.
Exactly. Yep.
And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep. Because it's like and I told you that too. It was like when it's all said and done, you want to be able to still get looked at as Marcus at the end of the day, because your music career is only gonna last for a certain amount of time. So it's like I don't want them to look at me as Marc Bravo now. Back then I was like, oh, like I'm gonna be this rapper, believe in me. But it's like now I'm just happy that they just support me.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, with my upbringing, I'm Salvadorian, first-gen immigrant. Wow. So, yeah, and my sister took the full-blown college route. I dropped out. And I dropped out because I wanted to do business. Okay. Like, I would have meetings lined up with millionaires and people in certain areas, and I'd be like, damn, I'm sitting in this bio class. I want to be in this meeting. I was like, you know what, I'm done with school. But when I found my way back to music, it was in Miami. I was like 21, 22, so it was like 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
And it started in Miami, and it was God. Like, it literally was, I was like, this is God, because all I've ever wanted to do was music. And I got placed in a recording studio to do a feature. Literally, one of my mentors was like, this guy needs a feature. He wants to hear you sing. I literally sang No One by Alicia Keys, and he was like, yep, love her voice, bring her in. Okay. Went to the studio, and I was like, this is it. So I came back to the DMV, started recording like crazy. So my story is very different because I didn't record myself. I had my business money. I used all my business lash money. Like, I was trapping lashes. And I invested all of it into studio time. I was like, and then the pandemic hit. So I was, all them little checks that was coming, I was like, oh, straight into the studio. And that is how, like, ever since then, it's been 2 years now, like, straight music. And now I'm conflicted because I'm like, I want to be a full-time music artist and full-time podcaster too. Like,
because you've built it up so much, so now it's
so now I'm like, my lash clients are like, Rena, like, are you available? And I'm like,
I got a show.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but like at the same time, so I'm conflicted in those areas now where I'm like, I want to do it all, but media, marketing, music, entertainment, that is what makes me happy, and giving back. At the end of the day, like, all of this is to put on for our community and to give back to the people. So
exactly, yeah, that's all that goes there. Do you how did the pandemic affect you? Did it help or hurt you?
Yo, I mean, now you like interviewing me, but we can get into it.
Yeah, we're going back and forth.
I dropped an EP during the pandemic called La Santa, and La Santa is very, if you really listen to the lyrics, it's like reggaeton type of Caribbean beats. It's like, it's super vibey, but if you look at the lyrics, I'm talking about God, I'm talking about suicide, I'm talking about, I swear I almost saw the light, so to my God I always pray. Like, all I remember, during the time I moved out of my parents' house, I started living at my sister's because my parents were so scared of the pandemic. And I was like, I'm gonna keep doing shows. I'm gonna keep going to LA. I'm gonna keep going to Miami. I love you guys. Like, I'm gonna have to move to my sister's. They were not happy about it, but I did it. So I started living in her loft. Never really talked about this either.
Wow, beautiful.
So I started living in my sister's loft, and oh God, I really fell into depression. Like, I was like, I'm either gonna unalive myself or really get past this. It'll make me, yeah. God, I don't even want to go back to that. Okay, but yeah, so I wrote it all out in my music, and I literally released it onto my music. I was broke, I was down bad, and yet I still found a way to pay for studio time. The little 2-3 clients that were still coming to see me, double masked up in fucking face masks, that was still like $300 that I was able to use to take care of myself, put back into studio sessions. And you would think I was balling because I was so fucking consistent.
Exactly.
And y'all, I totaled my Benz. So, you know, I told you I was really making money on my business. I totaled my Benz right before the pandemic hit. So for a year I had no car, and I was paying $80 Ubers to come to DC from Woodbridge, my sister's loft in Woodbridge, paying $80 Ubers to get to DC just to collab. Because at the time, like, nobody knew my music shit. They knew me as a model and like a business owner, but like, I had no respect for music. Like, no respect. Nobody really respected me in the music world. So yeah, like, I continued pushing, but now I'm like, it all happened exactly how it had to happen. And I know God took my Benz away too, so that I could dump that money back into the business. Because what I look like spending $1,000 a month just on a car, like, yeah, it was crazy.
Woo.
It was crazy. And now
Okay.
I put all that back into the brand, and yeah, I'm super blessed. I'm super thankful. What was the pandemic like for you?
Pandemic for me was and I like to be empathetic with this as well, because I know it wasn't like this for everyone.
Yeah.
However, it was, to me, some of like the best moments of my life. I hate going outside. I work best, like, I would get so much more work done if I didn't have to go outside every day.
I actually learned to appreciate being inside, because now
Yes.
I'm more of an introvert after the pandemic.
Interesting.
I
See?
still pop out here and there. I mean, I still be popping out, but like, I do take breaks where I just turn the phone off and I'm to myself.
You're just doing. I became an extrovert after the pandemic because I built up my career so much that I have to be outside all the time now. So now I'm not as productive with my list of to-dos every day. So when the pandemic happened, I'm like, I can finish my work. I don't have to go anywhere. I'm recording 5 songs a day again. Like, I'm really doing everything I need to do.
I couldn't record
'cause I'm just at
myself.
home, right?
So I had to go like to other studios. Oh my God, I had to Uber to other studios. It was a lot.
It was beautiful. I actually signed my first record deal during the pandemic. That first winter, yeah. I graduated college, so this was like 2020, because I graduated 2019, and then around like that winter was when it started to happen. So yeah, that's when it started happening, and I ended up talking to my manager, and he, ended up like signing me as far as that. So from there,
damn, that's dope.
and this what kind of leads back into Creative House. I dropped my first album, Allure. We got 500,000 streams on that. And from there, I really started to get a buzz, and people were trying to incentivize me to move to Atlanta, move to LA. But it was even like a hard idea to fathom because of the travel, everything going on with COVID. So it was hard to really.
Were you still traveling to other cities?
Eventually, yes. Not that first year, and that's why I'm glad I couldn't, because I might have went to somewhere else. But I decided to stay here, and I noticed a lot of resentment that our fan base had for the artists that are from this area, because they didn't leave anything here. They just kind of get big and then they just go somewhere else, and they don't bring anything back home that's like branded in their name. So I felt like it was my duty to create something like Creative House and give artists something I didn't get to experience at all.
Definitely. I always tell you, like, what you have created with this space, it's changing the game for the DMV. Like, it really is. And I know for you, we're very similar, where you're just, I'm doing my thing. I feel like sometimes you don't see the perspective everyone else sees. It's very special what you're doing. Like, I hope you can actually, like, when you sit down and you reflect. I don't
see it from the outside in.
And just like me, like, sometimes I'm just moving, and people are like, Rena, you should be very proud of yourself. And I'm like, this is just like my norm, kind of.
Right.
Like, I know, like, I'm doing stuff, but I'm like, is it really that? But yeah, that's a confirmation for you to know, like,
I appreciate that.
because artists like me that needed that type of stuff, I mean, I still do. Like, I just got booked for a video shoot at your space literally a couple weeks ago.
Definitely. We've been in alignment too, like, for the last couple of weeks. So I'm glad that you came to the original photo shoot. Thank you for coming to that.
How did you guys pick people for that? I just saw an email and I was like, oh, this looks cool. I want to go.
We literally had the team just finding cool people who look like they're doing a lot in the DMV.
Okay.
That was
Thanks.
mainly it. Yeah, people who look
Shout
like
out to whoever picked me. If you picked me,
I don't
that's
remember
cool.
who picked you, but I just know once they brought everyone through me. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, she looks dope enough. Like, she looks like she's doing enough for the city. So we wanted to bring in everyone that had a really good year and just do one big photo shoot so people can meet each other and things like today can happen.
What is the Creative House mission?
The Creative House mission is to create experiences for artists. So whether you don't make it big, you may not go as far as you want to in your career, you still have a story and experiences to say. If Creative House is on TV, you're like, oh yeah, I auditioned for that show. I still have my audition tape. You can show your sons, show your family. Like, you can actually had a good time. Because when I came up, everyone was just so gritty and just like, yeah, I gotta make it. Ugh. Like, no one was having fun. So I just wanted to bring like fun, taking risks, good experiences. That's what I wanted to bring to the DMV Creative House.
That's the whole thing about it. I was just sharing how we did the Elevate the Streets event, which actually on the next one, definitely want to talk to you about that. I know this time around, I didn't really get to fill you in too much. It just happened. But with the Elevate the Streets event, that was my whole thing too. It's like, homeless people deserve to have fun too, okay? Like, we did an Elevate the Streets event, and we had open mic for everyone. Like,
anyone that wanted to do it.
yes,
Yeah,
like,
I
people
love that.
walking down the street, and I was like, you got a song request? You want to karaoke with me? You want to duet with me? And just giving back, like, that's what it is for me. It's like coming up not just for ourselves, because it isn't just about us. Anyone who's doing something super big and monumental, it's not just about us. It goes far deeper. It's for community, family, whatever your why is. Do you know your why? Do you have a why?
Is it why I do Creative House?
Why you do what you do?
I'm really fulfilling a purpose bigger than my own. I'm an empath, and I can see. So like you say, I have a different perspective from a lot of people. So I feel like if I see that no one else does, it's my duty to fill that in. So my purpose is to really bring, because experiences and memories are the one thing that you can't take back. And I think people really undervalue those things now. They just want like accomplishments. But I'm like, if you really had a good experience that was fruitful, that's something people are always going to invest in.
Quality.
Exactly. Yep. It's all about the quality.
It's quality living.
Yep. That's something people can't take away. So my why is to bring back and to bring in general an industry to the DMV. And something that'll funnel here even when I'm in Africa or wherever I want to go do.
I want to ask you something personal. Okay, with me moving to Miami, and you can be like straight up, like as honest as you want to be. With me moving to Miami, do you feel like, well, I'm always going to travel back to the DMV, but do you feel like I can go to Miami and still have that respect and love from the DMV, like still be able to put on for my city, even though I'm going to be over there more full time?
It's hard to like feel as far as other people's purposes. However, anything can work. You just have to do it the way that the universe wants you to do it. So I would say as far as what you're doing, don't even get in your head too much. Whatever makes sense to you, that's what's supposed to happen.
I'm asking you this because I had another creative friend tell me recently, and I had to cut him off. You know, I'm a Taurus, I'm stubborn.
I know.
I had to cut him off, and I was like, bro, I'm about to hang up. And he was like, you better hang up. Why are you doing that? And I was like, because I don't like what I'm hearing. Because he basically told me, like, Rena, why would you leave? Like, you're making it in the DMV right now. Like, you need to keep putting on for the city. Like, why would you leave? You got to make it here first. And I'm like, I am going to make it here, though. And I am going to make it out there. And I'm never going to forget about home. Like, this is home. But that's why I wanted to ask you, like, your perspective. Like, on genuine, like, from a friend to friend, like, what could be, like, your piece of advice? Because for me, I'm like, there's no right or wrong way to do things.
It's not. It just, you have to make it work. So I feel like going, it's a leap for yourself, but if it makes sense to you, we need every part of the ecosystem. We can't both be Marc Bravo.
Exactly.
We can't both be Rena.
Exactly.
But Marc Bravo and Rena can link up in Miami and the DMV now that you're there. We have people in LA and Atlanta and New York that are now funneling me in because they're from here, but they moved there. And
we talked about this too. Yeah, like
they need me.
It's a beautiful experience when I'm talking to the audience too. Like, it's beautiful when, if you're someone that's coming up right now, let's say like someone that you've been working with is like, I'm about to go to LA. Root for them. Be happy for them. You know why? Because when they are making it in LA, who are they going to call? I already told Mark, when I'm out in Miami and I build my DJ connections, the club venues, we going to throw a show together.
We're doing it together.
Why not?
Boom, now we there.
And
we
it's
be on
like
each other's tour. Like, that's...
That is how we all continue to grow. And for me too, it's like, you can stay in one place, and I've been here and I've been doing my thing here, but when you feel like there's something more out there, it is all about your spirit, your spirituality, what you feel in your spirit, what you feel from source, those downloads, you have to run with that. And that's the part that I got to. So
and no one will relate to it. So that's why I'm also, my advice would be for you to be careful about who you accept advice from.
Yes.
Because advice, some people feel entitled with advice. Like,
and that's why I was like, I'm about to hang up because excuse me.
Exactly. And I used to live my whole life of treat people how you want to be treated. But now I kind of go by treat people how they want to be treated. Because that's a little narcissistic to treat people how you want to be treated. Because they may not want to be treated like that.
That's a good way to look at it. Do you see yourself being in the DMV like long term? Well, I know you're about to tour and you're about to hit all these different cities. You know, I had a beauty bar in DuPont Circle with my manager.
We're talking about this, yes,
And so I'm like, Creative House, do you see it like being a home for like years to come, and you traveling and like doing your I don't know if you want to go international with your music.
Definitely.
Okay. So do you see somebody running Creative House?
So that's what we're working towards, automation now. So Creative House is supposed to be an existence, an aura of me that's here as I go on that mission, rather than just going on that mission. I wanted to create something sustainable here. So I do want to travel. I do want to get out of the DMV.
Okay.
But I'm also very open to whatever my calling is. If my calling is to just be in the DMV the whole time, I'm cool with that. But I know there's certain places I'm going to travel to in general, but if it doesn't have to be for music, I'm cool with Creative House. If I'm supposed to do 10 seasons and do something else, like, that's cool. Like, I really don't like to use my own brain.
You're very flowing with just what comes. I love that.
Yes, thank you.
That's
I feel
dope.
limited in my own brain just trying to think of everything. It's like the signs are there in life. You just got to be open to them.
Okay, guys, little intermission because I'm pouring up a shot.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that we're the change. Even if I'm only one, I know that I can lead the way. Cause I've seen it and I've been there, had to face it the hard way.
I noticed that you are somebody you don't publicly speak on it, but it's just an aura. It's just something that I sensed. You're very in tune.
Thank you.
And even with you just saying, like, you didn't say you're in flow of things, but I mean, I said it. You're in flow of things. Like, you just take things as they come, and if it makes sense, we gonna roll with that. If you're meant to be in the DMV for another 10 years, okay. So you're very accepting of what the universe gives you. Where did your spiritual journey start? Is this something that your family, your parents kind of placed on you? Is it religious or is it spiritual?
It's a mixture of both. I'm a very faith-based person. My parents raised me to be a Christ-like spirit in a sense. My middle name is Christian. So I went to Baptist schools mainly my whole life. Besides middle school, I had begged my parents to put me in public school so I could be with my friends and learn how life works outside of this box. And then I went to Catholic school for high school. So I got to see a lot of different...
Same here, Catholic, Christian background.
Exactly, yep. So I got to see a lot of different religions. My father and their family, like Muslims and Buddhists. So I got to see like different aspects of it, and I all understood. I tried to make a pattern of how they all align, like what every religion agrees with, like Mother Nature, energy, like those things are like undeniable.
And it does all
agree that they
align,
exist.
yeah.
Exactly. So I found the alignment between all, because I'm like, if you say he's wrong, he's saying you're wrong, you say he's wrong, what do all y'all agree on? Because technically you're all right in your own way. So that's kind of what I believed in, and I just trust that. I think a lot of people use their brains too much versus like using your spirit, because your spirit is what's going to help you on the journey. Your brain helps you for the moment. So for me, I like to accept things as they come because the universe knows me better than I know my own journey.
Do you believe that everything happens for a reason and divine timing?
Yeah, it has to. It has to. Like, I even, like, life is... It's weird to me. But
do you feel like you always felt that? Like, even as a kid?
Yep.
I always felt that. Even in school.
Me too.
I would be bad at school, but I would feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I always knew what I always knew that there was law of attraction, but I didn't know what it was called.
Right. You understand the concepts before you
I just knew if I'm positive and I'm grateful and I thank God, whoever God is, I always felt like I'm going to be okay.
And you're the reason why because someone had to think of the idea in order to make the book of Law of Attraction.
Yeah.
You would naturally have that concept.
Even when I was like 5, like I just felt it.
Exactly.
And that's why when I was 22 and I was brought back to music, I was like, thanks God, like this is God.
And when you realize it, that's when it's like you get more of those type of blessings.
And synchronicities.
Yes, because you're in line and you're in your purpose. A lot of people will just run away from their blessings and not even be aware of it. Wow.
So, you said what? How do you feel? Okay. I feel like some people really aren't aware to this stuff at all.
At all, though.
Like some people mindlessly just wake up, I'm going to go to my job, I'm going to sit in this traffic, I'm going to and then they like go home and they're just like scrolling on TikTok or like whatever. I feel like some people really live like autopilot robotic lives.
Very much so. And they're very important for the ecosystem.
No, it is very important too.
Yep.
But I'm also like, I don't know, it would be beautiful if people tap into that because it's so beautiful to like know that there is something bigger out there for us. That's
definitely.
And we all have spiritual gifts. So when you can tap into those things too, you manifest so much harder. What are your ways of manifesting?
That's what makes us special, honestly, because we're the ones that don't think like that in a sense. Manifesting for me, I'm not a big fan of manifestation in a way, but I'm a big fan of putting the work in towards whatever you want to do.
Okay, well, so when you hear the word manifest, do you think that's, because I believe that manifesting means, okay, on my vision board, I put move to Miami, March 2023, literally. And the past 3 months, I've been aligning everything to get me there. But now I look at my vision board and I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, it's happening.
Right. And I think that's the proper way to manifest.
Okay.
I think a lot of people misunderstand.
Because I don't mean just like
word.
wishing, like, oh, it's just gonna come.
A lot of people misunderstand the word manifest.
So what is
and they
manifesting?
just do the vision board part. But manifesting is exactly what you explained.
Okay.
So I'm technically a fan of it, but not as how it's practiced by the masses.
Okay.
So a lot of people think manifesting, like you said, just writing it down and then look at it 3 months later and like, damn, it didn't even happen, bro.
Yeah, no, that does not work that way.
It's like putting the work in is the most important part.
Yeah.
And then whatever, and it's like you don't even have to really write it down per se, but it's like that goal on your mind that you're
Remind
just working
yourself.
towards every day. Exactly. Like you're gonna get it. Like, and I heard Wiz Khalifa say when I was growing up too, like if you think about something and work towards it every night, it has to happen. Like the universe
Wiz Khalifa,
is rewarding.
great person. I love watching his podcast. Great person, his vlogs and everything.
Definitely.
No, for sure. Yeah, I would say for me, manifesting is exactly that. Is you have a goal, and you got to be intentional with that goal.
Exactly.
So, like,
intentional.
you said you hit 500,000 streams on your last album?
Yep, the goal was 1 million.
Okay.
And we fell short on
But it's
500K.
okay, because
Yep,
when you set a
exactly.
bar, let's say, if I say I want to make $10,000 next month, and I put in the work to put in 10K, best believe I'm going to make at least like 5 to 6K.
Exactly. And that's it. And when you understand that level of manifestation, you're not upset when you hit 5 or 6K because you set your goal higher to purposely land on those marks.
But I do want to touch on that a little bit because I do feel like people do struggle with that and they want to manifest. So I would say, okay, my vision board, I printed out the apartment I want to live in, the palm trees, everything. I put the date. You can't just say, you can't just say, I'm going to move to Miami. Because God, source, universe, whatever you believe in is like, well, when do you want to do it? You want to do it in 5 years? You want to do it next month? So setting a time on it, okay, now, how much is it going to cost? Start asking yourself, start paying that shit every month. Even if you don't have that expense, start doing it. Even fitness, it's with every goal. You want to become a chef, whatever it is, get down to the nitty gritty, be intentional in that. It's just gonna happen. It's gonna.
You explained that perfectly. And also, stop looking outwards for the tools you need. You have everything you need right there. And if you use it to build, you might get to the next tools you want.
And people are gonna come through too. Like people are gonna come through for you. So even this whole podcast today, we are at Grail Art House.
Yep.
We are at Grail Art House with Eman and Aaron. And it's interesting because you guys met literally.
Yes. We've
yesterday?
gotten very close over the last couple of days.
So alignment, like for whatever reason, the universe will throw people in front of you. Tia, hi. Shout out Tia. Tia just became Marc's assistant. And me and Tia have been in conversation, not long conversations, but nice, just like energetic exchanges, positive exchanges. And source, God will do it for you. So like the more aligned and in tune you are with yourself, those things are going to come through. So yeah. With manifestation, what are you currently manifesting? What's next? You're going on tour and you have an album on the way.
Yes, ma'am. So
Tell us about it.
manifestation. I'm manifesting the rest of this tour to go well. Manifesting it.
Did it already, hasn't started yet, right?
The first one was 3 days ago.
So it started
Neptune
here in
and I-
DC.
Yeah, started here in DC. Neptune and I, we did our first show. So
Okay.
we're going to DC, College Park, back to DC. Then we're doing Atlanta, Richmond, Philly, Pittsburgh, Cali, and Tampa.
And Miami.
And then Miami. Yep.
And
July.
Miami. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Ooh, that's exciting.
Charlotte too. I forgot. I'm going to with.
Yeah, I was
Only
gonna say the
Vibes.
Carolinas.
Yeah, with Only
The
Vibes. Because I'm
Carolinas.
from North Carolina. I'm from
Really?
from Raleigh and Winston-Salem.
How long were you in North Carolina for?
About 2 years, and then I go every summer. I was born there, so I was there for 2
But
years.
your family moved
to
over?
Detroit,
Oh, you were in Detroit
and then
too?
moved to Maryland, lived in Delaware for a little bit, and then
So you traveled a lot, but DC has your heart?
DC has my heart as of now. That's where I chose to live as an adult.
Okay.
And I think that's where it becomes home over time.
Nice.
Yeah, but
So with this tour, what can we expect? You're hitting all these cities. What are your sets looking like? Like, what's like the lineup like? How do you run your shows?
For those who don't know, I do a play-based, musical-esque performance.
It's very production-based then.
Yes,
You're not
thank you.
just getting up there and performing. You're telling a story?
A story, yes. It's always like different scenes and acts into my performances. And my music style is like, if Erykah Badu is a rapper, I would say that's what people kind of compare me to. So I see a T's nodding her head. So that's my style. And then everything we do, like for example, my last shows, the first shows since I got signed to my new label, we did we had a mattress on the bed, and we kind of told the story of my poly relationship that I was in. And how?
Oh shit! You were in a poly relationship?
Yeah.
Is that like your vibe?
Find that out in the research, but it's my vibe when it was. As of right now, I'm more monogamous.
Okay.
Yeah, but when it was an amazing time. One of the best years of my life. That I was actually in a throuple, but I've been with poly for like 7 years throughout.
How many people were involved? Women and men?
Not just women.
Okay.
Yeah,
How many
just
women were involved?
In college, a lot, but.
But were they, because that's what I'm saying, like an actual relationship.
In an actual relationship, it was me and 2 young ladies.
And they were completely cool with it.
Yeah,
they
so
enjoyed
they were
themselves as well.
So they actually got together first.
Okay.
And then, I was with one for 6 years, but then when the new one came in, they asked each other to be each other's girlfriends. And I was
Because
like,
I want to know, I want to genuinely know, was it a love triangle or genuinely like a relationship where the 3 of y'all really loved and leaned on each other?
Yeah, it was literally a relationship we leaned and loved on each other.
So poly can work. Well, I mean, it didn't
work.
But it did work when it did.
But it was amazing when it did. It's kind of, it was like any other relationship in a sense. It was beautiful till it wasn't.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So we get to have a deeper look into Marc Bravo's lifestyle in his shows. Does that mean when you come to Miami, we're going to tell like a story through our show?
Yes, for sure. I don't know if you've seen the one that
I want to do that, but of course, like, it takes a lot of mental capacity and probably funds to make that happen. But when you got a team, I'm sure you can make it happen.
Yep, yeah.
I do that through my music videos. I haven't done it through a show yet.
Yeah, it was something I wanted to try. I was on stage being all like rah rah rah, and then it's like it just didn't feel like me. So like the storytelling really put me back into like those theater aspects, and I was able to really perform and do different scenes, have different people from the crowd involved. I really like for it to be an experience. I'm all about experiences.
I see. No, I appreciate that because, I mean, I like musicals and stuff like that. And I feel like with the way the world is headed and stuff, like we kind of lose the love for that. And it's nice to keep that stuff fresh and alive. So thank you for doing your part and keeping that alive. Yes. And with the album.
Yep.
When's the album dropping?
Album is now. It was supposed to drop March 7th. It is pushed back to March 21st.
Okay.
So we'll see if we stay with that day. I like it because it's 3-2-1.
So album is now, 3-2-1, yes,
Yeah,
angel
March
numbers.
21st, exactly.
Do you know what 3-2-1 means?
No, I only know the ones that are in all the same number.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know,
What's your angel number?
My angel number for this year is 333, but it changes every year. But this was my one when I was in a relationship. Wow. What a moment. And me and my other 2 girlfriends all have this same tat.
That's weird.
That's crazy.
That's funny. Why we both got two? Your girlfriends have that?
Yeah, they have it in their own way. One has it here and another one has it there.
222. That's my favorite number for sure. But it changes for me too. I had 515 before this.
Okay, 515.
333. What does that mean?
333 is alignment as far as all the success and all the work that you've been putting in.
You know what 222 means?
222. Oof, I forget now, but it's on me.
222. That's like unity. It's like pairs. It's coming together. That's it's real life just unity. 222 is just like coming together.
That's why we picked it.
I see.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I love this number. That's dope. Well, you gotta figure out what 321 means.
Yes, I do. I'm gonna look it up today then. Yep,
yeah.
'Cause that's when the album's dropping. We will have a single dropping called Tango with the Za. That'll be dropping on March 7th now, because that was the original album release date.
So you'll drop a single before that?
Single
Nice.
now on that date with a music video, all of that, and then we'll drop the actual album on the 21st, and I'm gonna have a big album release party. It's gonna be beautiful.
Out here?
Yep, out here.
The 21st of March?
21st of March, right after my last
Oh, I'm gonna be
DC
gone,
dates.
for sure. But damn, how many songs are on the album?
There are 16.
It's a long album.
Technically, it's very short. My songs are about a minute 30 to 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
The longest project I've dropped is probably 6 tracks. So I'm like, I mean, I could do 16, but I don't. Getting a little personal and vulnerable here. I don't know. I feel like for me, marketing 16 songs would kind of be a lot for me.
You're in a different lane, I would say. Like, you're in more of a pop culture lane. I'm more of like an underground vibe. This is what you're gonna play the smoke to, versus like yours. So I think that you're right where you need to be as far as yours.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the capacity.
I guess
of the
that's why I do it
listeners are
that way. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I do know if I dropped like 16 songs, I feel like my fan base would probably be overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Whereas your
'Cause they
fan
like
base
to
can
have a
appreciate it.
Yep, your fan base likes to go at that pace because it's more of like a popular sound. So it's beautiful. Yep, yeah. My 16 is I'm surprised when artists make it through my album, but they when my fans make it through, they make it through, and it's beautiful. So
That's dope.
and I haven't dropped one in 3 years. Like I said, I have over like 500 songs in the vault, so it's time to get this shit out.
Yeah. So you have like 500 songs. You said, is that like legit?
From making 3 songs a day in college.
Yeah.
So I can use
That was me
always as
during the
reference.
pandemic. I probably have,
going
I don't have
crazy.
500, but I probably have like 20 unreleased. And then the other 30 are already out. So I'm like,
Yep, that's a good ratio though. It's kind of my ratio too.
nah, for sure.
Yep, okay.
So we are getting to that point where the show's gonna be closing out soon, but if there's anything else you wanna touch on, if you wanna share anything with the audience, let us know.
Creative House Season 2, coming soon. We will be filming that on the first week of April. I would love to see y'all, well, I'm gonna see y'all in the crowd, see y'all faces in there on this tour. We will be touring from, like I said, I told y'all all the locations, but we're touring from March to May. So come see
June.
Marc Bravo. Technically June.
June.
Yes, June.
Miami.
We're gonna work on the details with that. Yep. So now we're going to tour from March to June, and I would love to see y'all at each event. It's gonna be beautiful. Come see a Marc Bravo experience in your lifetime. It's something you don't want to miss.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
No, thank
This
you.
was a great conversation. I hope
you.
you found just as much value in this exchange. I feel like with my podcast, this is really what it's about, like intellectual, in-depth conversations. We don't always get to have that. We're always on go, go, go. So when you can really like sit down and just
chill. That's why I feel like we really relate. And I want to just also shout out Rena. She's a really dope artist, dope interviewer, and y'all should really follow her journey. I can see in her eyes how bad she wants this, and it's not even just for the fame or the fortune. It's something she's really passionate about. So this is a good person to support if you're looking for someone to support.
Thank you so much. And same goes for you. I mean, y'all heard it here. Like, we're really trying to put on for our community out here. And we're not trying, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're making it happen. And I honestly, I'm going to give us some credit. I feel like we are inspiring the next wave of people to do it as well. So if you gained some value from this podcast, if you loved it, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you drop a comment. Thank you again. I'll make sure to link everything down below. Again, it's your girl, Rena, with the Elevated Experience. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time.
I'm just saying, y'all, if we want to see a change, we gotta be that change. Be better for our children, better for the next generations to come. They're the ones up next, only hope we got left.